He who is brave is free. Seneca. What if I told you that the loudest person in the room isn't always the one in control? In fact, true power, the kind that commands respect without demanding it, often comes from silence. Imagine walking into any room and instantly sensing how people react to you, not because you spoke the most, but because your presence alone exudes authority. Sounds almost unfair, right? But it's entirely achievable. In today's video, we're diving deep into 9 rules for silent dominance, a Stoic strategy that transforms the way you carry yourself, communicate, and influence. These aren't empty tips or superficial tricks. They're rooted in ancient wisdom, tested by some of history's most formidable minds, and designed for anyone who wants to elevate their presence without ever raising their voice. Stick with me till the very end, because missing even one rule could mean leaving a huge part of your potential untapped. By the time this video is over, you'll not only understand the subtle art of silent influence, but also know exactly how to wield it to your advantage every single day. Your next level of presence is waiting. Are you ready to claim it? Number 1, maintain calmness under pressure. When you walk into any room, the energy you carry speaks louder than words ever could. One of the most powerful ways to claim silent dominance is to maintain calmness under pressure. This isn't just about staying quiet. It's about mastering the art of composure when everything inside you wants to erupt or collapse. Imagine yourself like a still lake. No matter how strong the winds howl or how chaotic the world around you gets, your surface remains undisturbed, reflecting clarity and control. You might wonder, how do you actually do that? How do you keep your calm when things spiral, when stress mounts, or when the spotlight is on you? The Stoics knew this well. Once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." That strength isn't about controlling what happens around you, it's about controlling your reaction to it. And that's where your true power lies. First, you need to train your mind to pause before reacting. It's so easy to get swept away by emotions, anger, anxiety, frustration. But those emotional explosions rarely serve you. Instead, cultivate a habit of stepping back internally. When you feel the pressure rising, take a deep breath, count to 3, and remind yourself, this moment is temporary. I am bigger than this. This simple pause rewires your brain, giving you space to choose your response rather than reflexively reacting. Second, practice grounding techniques daily. These aren't just emergency tools, they build resilience over time. Try this. Focus your attention on your senses. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel against your skin? When your mind races or the room feels like it's closing in, anchoring yourself in the present moment pulls you out of chaos and into calm. It's a subtle shift, but a game changer. Also, challenge yourself to embrace discomfort rather than avoid it. Silent dominance thrives in those who are not afraid of tense situations or tough conversations. When you welcome pressure as a chance to prove your inner strength, you reprogram your mindset. Pressure becomes not a threat but a proving ground for your mastery over yourself. Remember, calmness is contagious. When you embody stillness, others naturally gravitate toward you, drawn by the magnetic aura of control and confidence. This silent authority doesn't shout for attention, it commands it effortlessly. Now, let's put this into action with a practical exercise. The next time you find yourself in a stressful situation, whether it's a heated discussion, a high-stakes meeting, or any moment of tension, try this. Stop what you're doing. Take a deliberate, deep breath. Ground yourself by noting 3 things you see or hear. Repeat a Stoic mantra silently to yourself like, "I control my mind, not the situation." Proceed calmly, knowing you've taken control. Make this your default response. Over time, calmness will stop being a rare skill and become your natural state. And with it, silent dominance will follow. You're not powerless in the chaos around you. You are the eye of the storm, the calm center others can't help but notice and respect. Own it. Number 2, control your body language. All right, let's talk about something incredibly powerful but often overlooked: your body language. When you walk into a room, your body is talking long before you even say a word. This silent language, how you carry yourself, the way you stand, your gestures, can either give away your inner state or make you the silent force in the room everyone respects. So, if you want to master silent dominance, controlling your body language isn't optional, it's essential. First, recognize this. Your posture sets the stage. Slouching, shrinking yourself, or avoiding eye contact broadcasts uncertainty and invites others to take the lead. On the other hand, standing tall with shoulders back, chin slightly raised, not arrogantly but with calm assurance, signals that you own your space. Once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." In that spirit, embody confidence through your very presence. Own the space you're in like it's yours by right. This isn't about ego. It's about aligning your inner strength with your outer appearance. Now think about your movements. Quick, erratic gestures create chaos and anxiety both for you and the people around you. Slow, deliberate motions, however, show control and purpose. Practice moving with intention, whether you're reaching for a glass or simply shifting your weight. This slows down your energy and makes you appear grounded. It's like sending a message. I'm in control here, not rushed, not desperate. Your hands are powerful communicators too. Avoid fidgeting or hiding your hands in pockets. Instead, use open, relaxed gestures. Open palms signal honesty and calm. If you keep your hands visible and steady, it's harder for others to doubt your composure or intentions. As Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. You control the narrative through your body language, regardless of what others do. Eye contact is another nonverbal tool that demands respect. Not the starring contest kind, but the steady, engaged gaze that shows you're present and unshaken. When you look people in the eye, you say without words, "I see you, I am here, and I am not intimidated." But remember, balance is key. Too much can be aggressive, too little can be weak. Practice holding eye contact just a second longer than feels comfortable. That's where dominance quietly lives. Here's a practical exercise for you. Next time you're in front of a mirror, practice standing exactly how you want to show up. Feel your feet grounded, chest open, shoulders relaxed yet firm. Then try moving your hands slowly, opening your palms and holding your gaze steady. Notice how this feels in your body, calmer, more controlled. That feeling is your silent power. Take it into every room you enter. Start small if you need to. Maybe focus on your posture first. Catch yourself when you slouch and correct it immediately. Then work on your eye contact and hand gestures. This is a habit you build step by step, but each moment you practice, you're reinforcing your silent dominance. Remember, true dominance isn't about shouting or showing off. It's quiet confidence, the kind that Seneca and Epictetus lived by. It's presence without needing to prove anything. You're not trying to overpower others, you're simply owning your space and yourself. Control your body language and you'll control the room. So start now. Stand tall, breathe steady, and move with purpose. Your silent dominance begins there. Number 3, speak with purpose and brevity. All right, let's dive into this. Speak with purpose and brevity. It's a game changer for silent dominance in any room. If you want to command respect and presence without raising your voice or making a scene, this rule is your secret weapon. Imagine this: every word you say matters. No filler, no fluff. When you speak, it's because you choose to. It carries weight, intention, and clarity. You don't babble or fill the silence just to be heard. You own the moment with your words. Why is this so powerful? Because people are naturally drawn to those who communicate clearly and confidently. When you speak with purpose, your words cut through the noise like a sharp arrow. And brevity, That's the ultimate form of respect for your time and theirs. Long-winded speeches lose people. Concise statements, they hold attention and leave a lasting impression. Said, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. This is about more than just truth. It's about intentional speech. Don't waste your breath on what doesn't serve the moment or your goals. Every sentence you utter should be like a tool, precise, efficient, effective. Now, how do you start? First, practice thinking before speaking. Sounds simple, but it's easy to forget. Pause, even if just for a second, and ask yourself, what do I want to communicate here? Why does this matter? What outcome do I want from this exchange? Once you have that clear in your mind, speak. Next, trim your words like a gardener prunes a bonsai. Cut unnecessary parts. Replace, I think that maybe, with I'm certain. Swap in my opinion with a confident assertion. Your goal, say the most with the fewest words. This not only sharpens your message but also shows you're in control. Here's a practical exercise. Before you respond in any conversation today, silently summarize your point in just 1 or 2 sentences. If you can't, you haven't nailed your purpose yet. Keep refining until you can. This trains your mind to be economical and effective with language. Another tip, avoid over-explaining. When you feel the urge to justify every detail, resist. Silent dominance thrives on mystery and confidence. People trust those who don't feel the need to over-defend their statements. Instead, say your piece, then pause. Let your words settle. Let them think. You might worry about coming across as cold or distant, but that's a misconception. Speaking with purpose and brevity is actually a sign of respect. It respects others' time, their ability to understand, and their intelligence. When you speak less but say more, people listen more closely. They lean in. Remember Epictetus's wisdom. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Speaking less and with intention naturally opens space for listening. And listening is a silent form of dominance. When you listen well, you understand more, respond better, and control the flow of any interaction. So here's your call to action. Starting now, commit to this rule. Speak only when you have something valuable to add. Use fewer words but make each one count. Watch how your presence grows, how people lean toward your voice, not because you shout, but because you mean what you say. Silent dominance isn't about volume, it's about impact. And that impact starts with speaking with purpose and brevity. Own that power. Let your words be your quiet strength. Number 4, listen more than you talk. All right, let's dive deep into this. Listen more than you talk. It's deceptively simple advice, but it's a powerhouse rule for owning a room without shouting, without flash, without desperate grabs for attention. Here's the truth. You don't need to fill every silence with your voice to be noticed. In fact, the loudest voices rarely hold the most power. Power lives in presence, in control, and that starts with listening. When you genuinely listen, you tap into something few really master, understanding. And understanding, that's your secret weapon. Said, everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. When you listen more, you're not just hearing words, you're uncovering layers beneath those words, intentions, emotions, truths that others hide or overlook. It gives you clarity, it gives you control, and it shows you're someone who values insight over noise. But why does this matter for silent dominance? Because dominance isn't about overpowering others, it's about commanding respect without saying a word. When you listen, you radiate calm confidence. You show you're not desperate for validation or quick to react. You're thoughtful, you're strategic. Imagine this. In any conversation, most people are busy thinking about their next sentence, itching to get their point across. They're distracted, half present, but you're anchored in the moment. You absorb every nuance. Your silence forces others to fill the gaps, and often they reveal more than they intended. That's where your power grows quietly, steadily. Here, what I want you to do right now, start practicing active listening. Not the robotic, yeah stuff. I mean truly engaging your mind and senses. When someone talks, pause your internal dialogue. Don't jump to reply or judge. Instead, ask yourself, what are they really saying? What are they not saying? How does this change what I need to do next? Now let's make this practical. Next time you're in a room or a meeting, challenge yourself to talk 30% less than usual. Let others fill the air. Focus entirely on understanding their words. Watch their body language. Notice the subtle shifts in tone or mood. Take mental notes. You might feel uneasy at first because society conditions us to equate talking with value. But remember Epictetus' wisdom. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Let that sink in. It's not just poetic, it's a blueprint for mastery. Here's a little exercise to train yourself daily. When someone speaks to you, try repeating their main point back in your mind before responding. Don't do it aloud, just mentally. This keeps you grounded in what's truly being said. Over time, this will build your patience and sharpen your ability to discern what matters. Listening more also means you're less reactive. You don't jump at every impulse. Instead, you respond with intention. This shift alone makes people lean in because they sense your calm and measured presence. It's magnetic. So here's your takeaway. Next time you want to command a room, start by quieting yourself. Let your ears lead your mind. Show the room that you don't need to shout to be heard. Because real strength, it's often found in the silence between words. Start today. Listen more than you talk. Watch how the room bends subtly to your quiet will. Number 5, avoid seeking approval or validation. Listen when you're in any room, whether it's a meeting, a social gathering, or even just a casual conversation. Nothing undercuts your presence more than looking like you need someone's approval. It's a subtle but powerful signal that you're dependent on external validation, and that dependency weakens your hold on your own power. You don't want that, not even a little. The Stoics knew this well. Epictetus taught that we shouldn't be slaves to what others think because their opinions are outside our control. Focus instead on what you can control: your thoughts, your actions, your mindset. When you stop chasing approval, you free yourself. You reclaim your energy. You become the silent force in the room that others feel before they even realize it. But I get it, this isn't easy. Human nature is wired to crave belonging and acceptance. That's why this rule isn't just about knowing better, it's about retraining your instincts. You need a strategy, some daily work. Here's your first exercise. Start small and notice. When you speak, ask yourself, am I saying this to express myself or to get a reaction? Is the aim to share value or to hear applause? Just notice that impulse. Awareness is your first weapon. Then practice holding back the urge to fill silence or to over-explain yourself. Silence is your ally here. It's okay if the room doesn't immediately shower you with nods or smiles. In fact, when you resist the urge to seek validation, you become magnetic. People sense your calm confidence, and your words carry more weight because they're not desperate or needy. Said, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. When you root your actions in your own inner compass, independent of others' approval, your dominance becomes quiet but unshakable. Here's a second exercise for you. Set a daily intention to act without approval. It could be something as simple as voicing your opinion in a group chat without waiting to see if it gets likes, or deciding on a course of action at work without polling everyone for permission. This practice rewires your brain away from needing constant external validation. And remember, avoiding approval isn't about becoming cold or detached. It's about being internally grounded. Think of yourself as a lighthouse. The stormy seas of others, opinions crash around you, but your light shines steady because it comes from inside, not from the waves that try to sway it. A practical tip: when you feel the pull for approval, breathe. Take 3 deep breaths. Remind yourself, I do not need permission to exist fully. This pause will create space to choose your response, not react out of habit. Over time, you'll notice a profound shift. Your presence will speak volumes without shouting. You won't need to fill the room with noise or gestures. People will listen because you're anchored in yourself, not in their fleeting opinions. So start today. Catch that impulse to seek validation, call it out, and refuse to feed it. Build your silent dominance by standing firm in your own truth. You don't need a crowd's cheer to know you're enough. That's the power the Stoics want you to harness. Own your space, own your mind, and watch how the world responds to the quiet strength that can't be shaken. Number 6. Project confidence through eye contact. Look, eye contact isn't just about looking someone in the eyes. It's about sending a message without speaking, a signal that says, I'm here, I'm aware, I'm in control. When you meet someone's gaze and hold it steadily, you claim your space. You tell them, silently but clearly, you're not to be overlooked or dismissed. You might think it's simple or even trivial, but it's anything but. Eye contact is the bridge between you and others. It shapes how they perceive you: strong, steady, unshakable. It shows you're anchored in the moment, unbothered by distractions or doubts. Seneca once said, "He who is brave is free." And part of that freedom is the bravery to face another's gaze without flinching. When you avoid eye contact, you give away your power. Your fear becomes visible. But when you hold their eyes, you take back control. No words needed. So how do you project this kind of confidence through your eyes? Start by practicing presence. In conversations, don't dart your eyes around like you're looking for an escape route. Instead, settle into the moment. Look steadily, but don't stare aggressively. It's a balance, a calm, assured gaze that invites respect. Try this exercise. The next time you talk to someone, hold their eyes for a count of 3 full seconds. Yes, 3 seconds might feel like forever at first, but that's the point. It forces you out of your comfort zone and into a space of boldness. Over time, this becomes natural. Here's another. Practice maintaining eye contact with yourself in the mirror. Look yourself in the eyes without breaking away. This isn't about vanity. It's about cultivating inner courage, the kind of courage that reflects outwardly. You learn to be okay with your own gaze, which in turn makes it easier to hold others. Remember, eye contact is not about intimidation. It's about connection through strength. It says, I am grounded. I am here. I will not be ignored. It's silent dominance in its form. Taught us to control what is within us and remain unshaken by what is not. Eye contact is a tool to practice exactly that. When you hold your gaze, you train yourself to stay composed under pressure and to command attention without uttering a word. But don't just do it mechanically. Combine your eye contact with relaxed breathing and a calm face. The power comes not from forcing, but from being genuinely present and unafraid. That's the kind of energy that moves a room. Here's a quick daily habit you can start. For 5 minutes each day, practice eye contact drills, whether with people or even strangers in passing. Hold their eyes with steady calm, smile lightly, and watch how they respond. The more you do this, the more your silent dominance grows. So what are you waiting for? Step into your power. Don't let fear or distraction pull your gaze away. Project that quiet confidence through your eyes. Become the person who commands attention by simply being. The room will notice. You will own it without saying a word. Number 7. use silence as a powerful tool. Imagine this, a room full of noise, chatter, and the constant buzz of opinions flying around. Amid this whirlwind, you remain calm, composed, and quiet. That's silence. It's not empty, it's charged, it's potent, it's a signal. When you master silence, you don't just blend in, you dominate the room. Here's the truth. Silence is one of the most underrated tools in your arsenal. The Stoics, masters of inner strength and control, knew this well. Once said, "Be silent, or let thy words be worth more than silence." Silence speaks volumes when your words don't need to fill every gap. It signals confidence, self-control, and a depth others rarely possess. Why does silence work so well? Because it unsettles the noise. It draws attention without demanding it. When you don't rush to fill every pause, you give others space to think, to wonder, and often to reveal more than they intended. Your quietness creates a magnetic pull, forcing others to lean in, listen carefully, and respect your presence. But silence is not just about not speaking. It's about choosing when to speak and what to say with precision. It's about holding your ground internally while the chaos swirls around you externally. You become a calm harbor in a storm, and people instinctively gravitate toward that. Hear how you can start using silence as your silent dominance strategy today. Practice pausing. Next time you're in conversation, don't be afraid to pause before answering. Let the silence hang for a moment. This brief pause can make your words hit harder and give you time to collect your thoughts. It's like drawing a bow before releasing an arrow, purposeful and impactful. Resist the urge to over-explain. When you speak, be clear and concise. Don't feel pressured to fill space with filler words or unnecessary details. Say what matters and stop. This economy of speech makes your words powerful and respected. Embrace quiet confidence. Know that you don't have to be loud or flashy to lead. True strength comes from within. When you are silent yet present, you're showing that you don't need approval or validation. This self-assurance is magnetic. Use silence to listen deeply. When you stay silent, you open yourself to truly hear others. Listening is a form of power. It gives you insights, control, and the ability to respond wisely. As Epictetus advised, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Control your inner dialogue. Silence also means mastering the noise inside your head. Cultivate mindfulness and keep your thoughts steady. When your mind is calm, your silence becomes a fortress rather than a void. Adopting silence is not about withdrawal or passivity. It's an active, strategic choice to project strength without shouting. It demands patience and courage because the world often equates volume with power. But you know better. You're stepping into the realm of quiet mastery. So starting today, begin to lean into silence. Next time you enter a room, don't rush to fill the air. Let your quiet presence speak for itself. Watch how the energy shifts. Feel how people naturally turn toward you. This is silent dominance in action. Remember, it's not about making noise, it's about making an impact. Your silence, used wisely, is your greatest power. Number 8, stay aware of your surroundings. If you want to master silent dominance, it starts with something deceptively simple, staying aware of your surroundings. But this isn't about just glancing around or checking your phone every now and then. It's about cultivating a sharp, calm awareness that keeps you rooted in the present moment, ready to move with purpose and confidence. When you enter any room, the energy shifts. People are sending out subtle signals, body language, tone of voice, even the tempo of their breathing. These cues tell stories if you pay attention. The more you attune yourself to these details, the more you understand the invisible currents flowing through the space. And understanding those currents, that's power. Seneca said, True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. That's the essence here. When you're fully present, you're not caught in distraction or caught off guard. Instead, you're anchored. Your awareness becomes your silent shield, protecting you from manipulation, surprises, or even wasted energy on things that don't serve your goal of quiet command. This kind of awareness is a muscle you build. Start by observing small things. When you walk into a room, note the arrangement of people. Who seems confident? Who's nervous? Who's trying to stand out and who's quietly watching? You don't need to label or judge, just notice. This awareness feeds your intuition and lets you adjust your posture, your tone, your presence accordingly. Try this exercise. Next time you enter a space, take a deep breath, then scan the room slowly with your eyes without rushing. Identify one or two subtle things you hadn't noticed before. Maybe a person's crossed arms, a smile that doesn't quite reach the eyes, or a cluster of people talking quietly in a corner. Hold that image in your mind. This simple practice sharpens your mental radar and roots you firmly in the moment. Remember, awareness isn't just about observing others. It's also about tuning into yourself. How are you feeling? What thoughts are swirling inside? Are you tense, relaxed, alert, or distracted? Reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Being aware of your internal state lets you adjust and stay grounded instead of reacting impulsively. When you harness this kind of presence, your very silence speaks volumes. People notice because you aren't hurried or scattered. You command respect without shouting or forcing it. Your calm observation creates an invisible field that pulls others in. You become the person others instinctively look to, even without you saying a word. So here's your call to action. Start practicing awareness like it's your daily meditation. Before entering a room, pause, take stock of the environment. Once inside, keep your senses open, not overwhelmed but curious and calm. Track your own energy and breathe deeply to stay centered. This habit builds silent dominance, an unshakable confidence that radiates from steady awareness. To seal this in, remind yourself daily, I am present, I am aware, I am steady. These words are your mental armor against distraction and anxiety. Master this, and you'll discover how effortless it is to own any space you enter, not with noise, but with silent, unshakable presence. Number 9, act with unwavering self-discipline. All right, let's dive deep into what it means to act with unwavering self-discipline, because that's the silent power move that sets you apart in any room, no matter the chaos around you. You see, self-discipline isn't just about forcing yourself to do things you don't want to do. It's about mastering yourself so thoroughly that your mind, body, and actions align perfectly with your goals and values. It's that quiet strength, a calm fortress of control that others instinctively recognize. Nailed it when he said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This is your starting line. When you act with unwavering self-discipline, you don't get tossed by every little distraction or emotional wave. You don't react impulsively or lose your cool when things get tense. Instead, you maintain a steady course, projecting a magnetic confidence. That steady, deliberate behavior commands respect far louder than words ever could. Now I want you to imagine this. What if every time you entered a room, people felt your presence because you carried an air of absolute control over yourself? Not control over them, but control over you. That's the essence of silent dominance. You become a quiet force that influences, not by shouting, but by simply being. This comes from self-discipline, the habit of regulating your thoughts and actions, no matter the circumstances. Here's the challenge. Self-discipline is a muscle. It's not something you have or don't have, it's something you build daily. And the good news, Every single moment you resist temptation, choose focus over distraction, or speak after thinking, you're strengthening that muscle. Start with small, manageable exercises. For instance, practice delayed gratification. When you feel an urge, whether it's to check your phone, interrupt, or react emotionally, pause. Count to 10. This tiny pause rewires your brain to act with intention, not impulse. Set micro goals. Break your daily tasks into bite-sized chunks and commit to completing each one without giving in to procrastination or distraction. These little victories add up. Mind your speech. Train yourself to speak deliberately. Think before you talk. Your words carry weight when they're measured and purposeful. This isn't just about external behavior either. It's about cultivating your inner landscape. Meditate on Epictetus's advice. No man is free who is not master of himself. Freedom here isn't about physical space, but about the freedom to choose how you respond to anything. When you act with unwavering self-discipline, you aren't just controlling your actions, you're shaping your destiny. People around you feel it. It's that silent, invisible aura of mastery. They see someone who doesn't crumble under pressure, who doesn't chase validation, and who doesn't waste energy on what's outside their control. So here's your call to action. Starting right now, take ownership of your impulses. Catch yourself when your mind wanders or your emotions threaten to hijack your calm. Train yourself to return, again and again, to your purpose. Self-discipline is your foundation for silent dominance. It's the secret handshake of the quietly powerful. When you cultivate it, you're not just surviving the room, you're quietly owning it. Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about persistence. One disciplined choice at a time, you build that unwavering strength. And before you know it, the room shifts because you shift. Now that you've discovered these 9 powerful rules for silent dominance, it's time to step into your own strength. Remember, true power doesn't shout, it moves with calm confidence and unwavering presence. As said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. So go ahead and practice these rules daily. Watch how your presence shifts the energy in any room. Silent dominance isn't about control over others. It's about mastery over yourself. If you found value in this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because your journey to mastery is just beginning. Stay sharp, stay silent, and keep dominating with grace. Until next time, keep your power quiet but your impact loud.